All right, Shalom, Shalom. Call I am La Alahaina, we Yahweh Bashim El Shai Bashim Harakakadash. I give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, we want to teach well, and a hearty Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. The inspiration for the lesson comes out of the book of 2 Samuel in the first chapter. And I'm going to get right into it. But first, I'm going to read this precept in Psalm 105:15. It says, saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. All right. We're in the times, okay, where Esau Edom is gonna touch the Lord, the men of the Lord, all right, the elect, and harm the Lord's prophets, man. Okay, but this, you can look at this as a warning, all right, to the people of the world, especially to Esau Edom, all right, to not touch the men of the Lord, all right. And we're gonna come back to that. But let me get where this inspiration for this came from. All right, this is 2 Samuel 1. All right, and I don't want to read the whole thing. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna start at I might just start at the top. It says, now it came to pass after the death of Saul, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, and David had abode 2 days at Ziklag. It came to pass on the third day that, behold, a man came out of the camp from Saul with his clothes rent and earth upon his head. And so it was, when he came to David, he fell to the earth and did obeisance. And David said unto him, from whence comest thou? And he said unto him, out of the camp of Israel I am escaped. And David said unto him, how went the matter? I pray thee, tell me. And he answered, that the people are fled from battle, and so many people also are fallen and dead. And Saul and Jonathan, his sons, are also dead. So he's telling King David a story about, he's telling King David what happened, all right, in the war. And David said unto the young man that told him, how knowest thou that Saul and Jonathan, his son, be dead? And the young man that told him said, as I happened by chance upon Mount Gilboa, behold, Saul leaned upon his spear, and lo, the chariots of horsemen followed hard after him. And when he looked behind him, he saw me and called unto me, and I answered, here am I. And he said unto me, who art thou? And I answered, I am an Amalekite. All right, this is important to know. All right, this is important to remember. All right, we're going to look up right here, right now. Amalek, all right, are descendants of Esau, right here. Descendants of the grandson of Esau, all right. So he's an Edomite. All right, and Esau, Edom, all right, is touching the Lord's people today, just as in this example, all right. In these precepts, it says, he said unto me again, stand, I pray thee, upon me, and slay me, for anguish is come upon me, because my life is yet whole in me. So I stood upon him and slew him, because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen. So the wounds on Saul was so grievous that he asked this Amalekite to slay him. And I took the crown that was upon his head and the bracelet that was upon his arm, and I brought them hither unto my Lord. All right, then it goes into them weeping. All right, here's the point. And David said unto the young man that told him, whence art thou? He answered, I am the son of a stranger in Amalekite. All right, so this man is the son of Esau, right? And David said unto him, how wast thou not afraid to stretch forth thine hand to destroy the Lord's anointed? All right. This is the whole point right here, right? Esau Edom is stretching forth his hand to destroy the anointed of the Lord. And look what happened to this man, right? And David called one of the young men and said, go near and fall upon him. And he smote him that he died. And David said unto him, thy blood be upon thy head, for thy mouth had testified against thee, saying, I have slain the Lord's anointed. All right. My whole point in reading that is there's two things. All right. Going back into Psalms 105 and 15, to not touch the anointed of the Lord, because you saw what happens, right? Psalms 105:15 saying, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm, right? So that's a warning, right? To do the men of the Lord no harm, or his anointed any harm, as this man had did, as this Edomite has done, right? And Esau Edom is doing Jake harm today, all right? And I got some examples in another one just came up, cop shootings on black. All right. It's not just Esau. You got these other Shalom, it's not just Esau. You got these other nations too that have put their hands on the people of the Lord. All right. So just, I probably didn't look up the right thing, but I could have just looked up the statistics on cops that killed so-called black men, right? Yep, constantly. How about you, man? Brother? I hope you're doing well down there. But these are some examples, right? This one, police shootings. All right. Let me see, in the database, search by race, Washington Post. All right, this is an example of Esau Edom touching the Lord people. Right. Let's see. It says here, this is an old article. I don't know when it came out. This has been updated. All right. So it says 1,018 people have been shot and killed by the police in the past 12 months. All right. Well, it's not saying, you so-called black people, right? But I guarantee you, let's see, here we go. Black Americans are killed at a much higher rate than white Americans. All right. You got Hispanic right there too. All right. But look at this. Out of, you got 1,900, almost 2,000 so-called black people killed by the police, and then you got 1,300 Northern Kingdom killed by the police. All right. Let's see, white non-Hispanic. All right. It says black Americans are killed at a much higher rate than white Americans. All right, that's the point right here. All right, the Lord is touching the Lord. Esau Edom, Salakia, is touching the Lord's people, man. All right. Even though those individuals that, were put to death in a sense, they're not the anointed of the Lord, but they are loved by the Lord. Okay. All right. Because it's their people. These two nations of this color of person and this nation of people, all right, are loved by Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Let's see. And we know Amalek goes back to Esau. But let's see. What does touch mean? We're going to look at that. What does anointing mean? And we're going to look at what harm means. Okay. All right. Touch is to reach, strike. All right. To touch, approach, extend, arrive. All right. Let's see. To strike somebody. All right. To smite them. All right. Is that not what the young man did at the call of King David? Excuse me. That's exactly what he did. Let's go to it and read it again. No, man, I keep skipping over. It says here, and David called one of the young men and said, go near and fall upon him, and he smote him that he died, right? So strike, smiting, all right? is another word for striking. All right, put them to death. All right, for touching the Lord's anointed. All right, that's what happened to the Amalekite, and that's what's going to happen to Esau. All right, let's look at this word anointed. All right, because the Lord is going to allow Esau, Edom to move on Jacob's trouble. All right, and some of the anointed of the Lord is going to be caught up in the ruckus. Okay, all right, but it says here, anointed one. All right, the king of Israel, which Saul was at that present point in time. All right, let me see. All right, usually a consecrated person. All right, as a king, priest, or a saint. All right, and we are saints of Yahweh Shema Shai. Right, even the people of the Lord that aren't following after the customs and don't know the truth, they are, saints in the eyes of the Lord because they are people. They are His people. Okay, they are the Lord's people. All right, let's go here to another example of how Jake was smitten, all right, or smote by Esau Edom. All right, you got the lynchings. All right, all these lynchings. Look at this right here in a book called Without Sanctuary. Right here, you got this. You got Jake. They were being burned. Their genitals were being cut off. And look, you got all these Edomites just standing there looking at this Jake. You got little kids that took off from school. All right. You got people that took off from work to watch this Jake man hang. All right. Look at this. Look at this. This is an artist's rendition of Jake being hung in America. Look, you got the white angels back there. This is a mockery of so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. Look at this man. All right. He was burnt. All right. His flesh was burnt. This is an example of being smitten or smoked by your enemy. All right. This is the southern kingdom. Okay. Now let's look at the northern kingdom. Okay. It says here, as Google crimes of Europeans to the Indians. It says indigenous people, both northern and southern, were displaced, died of disease, and were killed by Europeans through slavery, rape, and war. Look at that, killed. All right, Esau Edom has killed both the northern and southern kingdom. All right, but it all goes back to this. Right, let's go to Genesis 25. Not Genesis 20. Well, it goes into this too, right? Let's get straight to the point. It says Genesis 25 and 23, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels. The one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So they were fighting, right? Let's see. Yeah, right here it says that they were fighting and the children struggled together within her, right? They were fighting each other. All right, this is what I should have read. This is Genesis 25 and 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh Shema Shai. Right? So this struggle is still going on today with Esau having the upper hand in a sense, okay? All right, physically as we see right now. The lynchings, all right, the shootings, all right, and many more crimes. All right, you got the rape, the slavery, and the war that Esau Edom has pushed upon the northern and southern kingdom. Right, he touched the Lord's anointed. Right, and the anointed, specifically meaning it to the elect, but as a whole, Esau Edom is going to pay for what he has done to the Lord's people. It says in 1491, about 145 million people lived in the Western Hemisphere. By 1691, 200 years later, the population of indigenous people had declined by 90 to 95%, or by 130 million people. It says here, that's a lot of people, man. All right. It says when the Europeans arrived, they brought with them diseases unknown to the natives, the natives having no immunity died from these diseases that the Europeans thought of as commonplace. They also brought guns, alcohol, and horses. The effect of these was to change the way of life for the Native Americans. All right. But I wanted to get something else too. I think it's Genesis 27. And this is Genesis 27 and 41. It says that Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And we're going to receive that blessing, all right, that we're going to get here in the kingdom that's coming shortly. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right. And Esau is slaying you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians on a high level. And Esau has people's minds so messed up that y'all are slaying each other for Esau. Okay. All right. The nigger woman is killing her man. The nigger man is killing her woman. All right. For the adultery and all the other nonsense that she's doing. All right. But let's go back into some of this. All right. It says, how did the colonization harm American Indians? Right. Oh, let's go look at that word harm. All right. In Psalms 105. All right, it says to be bad, be evil. Hey, let me call you back like in 10 minutes, all right? All right. It says to be bad, evil, be displeasing, all right? Injurious. Let's look at this word. I don't know what this word means. It says, if I don't know if you can see, it says causing or likely to cause damage or harm. All right. Because Esau, Edom is wicked and evil. It says to do hurt, to do injury or hurt, mischief, to break or shatter. All right. Did we not just read that the effects of the Europeans, all right, are the causes of the Europeans coming to this nation, coming to the Americas, coming to the Western Hemisphere. The things that they brought, the diseases, the guns, and the alcohols, caused a change in the way of life for the Native American Indians. All right, it broke them. All right, it broke them, broke in pieces, broke asunder. All right, that's what Esau Edom did. He harmed the northern and southern kingdom, and he's harming you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians today. All right. It says, so how did European colonization harm American Indians? It says native peoples of America had no immunity to the diseases that the European explorers and colonists brought with them. Diseases such as smallpox, influenza, measles, and even chickenpox proved deadly to American Indians. Europeans used these diseases, but the Indians had no resistance to them. All right, the Europeans were used to these things. All right, so bringing diseases is causing harm. It's breaking the people down, it's breaking up the family structure, it's breaking up the community. All right, that's all Esau Edom is about. So now let's see. Here we go. It says the European colonization of North America had a range of effects on the Native Americans, such as starvation, loss of land, culture, disease, and slavery. And there's where's my book at? All right, here goes slavery in regards to the southern kingdom, how they was brought on those ships and all this other stuff. Look at this. This is what the white man has done. All right, and these other nations have played a part in this as well. Right. The Black Holocaust. Okay, so it's a good read. Okay. I don't know where my book is in regards to maybe my son got it, but you got the Trail of Tears. You got the movie called My Heart at Wounded Knee. Okay, you got also that book by Bartholomew de la Casa. I think I said his name right. All right. The Devastation of the Indies, and plenty of more books, okay, that show you that Esau Edom is nothing but the motherfucking devil. All right. So now let's go to what the outcome is going to be for Esau. Let's go to Obadiah 1. It says, let's go straight to the point. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right, how's Esau even going to be cut off forever? When we get in the kingdom and we're setting the kingdom up, Esau even going to serve his slavery for that 1,000 years, and there's going to be no more of him, right? It says, we're going to get that here. It says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered in his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. All right, you got the Babylonians, they went there and sacked Jerusalem. All right, then you got 70 AD, and then you got the Greeks that sacked, that messed with Judah, okay, in the time of the Maccabees. It says, but thou shouldest have not looked on the day that of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. All right, thou shouldest, this is what the Lord is telling that he shouldn't have done, okay? All right, but then we're gonna get into what the Lord is going to do. It says, thou shouldest not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity, yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. It says, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape, neither shouldest thou have delivered up those that did remain in the day of distress. All right, now let's go straight down here. All right. This is Obadiah 1 and 18, and this is what's going to happen to Esau. It says, in the house of Jacob shall be a flame, shall be a fire, Salaki, in the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh have spoken it. All right. The Lord's going to put Esau down, man, okay, for the atrocities that he stood by and watched in the time of the sacking of the temple by the Babylonians, what they did in the Greeks' time, all right, and what, through the small little examples that I gave today, all right, that the Lord allowed me to give today in this lesson, all right. Esau Edom got a lot to pay for. All right, let's see. For Malachi. Maybe it's Michael. No, I'm going to hear. This also goes into what I was speaking about here with the Native American Indians. All right, this is John 10 and 10. It says, the thief cometh not but to steal, to kill, and destroy. All right, that's all Esau Edom has done. He's a thief. He stole the lands, right? What is it? A loss of land. How was the land lost? All right, through Esau Edom setting up his treaties that he could not keep hold of. But guess what? That's what the Lord set up. All right, 144, call all Yahweh Shai. It says, I am come, Yahweh Shai speaking, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. All right, starting off with his sacrifice. All right, well, starting off with him preaching the word, preaching the gospel, then the sacrifice, and us receiving the Holy Spirit. That's how we have life, man. Okay, getting this understanding to know who our enemy is. That's how we have life, right? And to do the right things and come into repentance. That's how we have life, through the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai. I know one more. Oh yeah. Now that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and close out. But Lord will you edify, man. Those that touch the Lord's anointed, whether it be Jake or Esau, the Lord gonna have and the Lord got something special for you, man. Especially for you Edomites, man. The Lord's gonna fuck you up, man. All right. So Lord will you edify, call line I ain't know how about Shimmy outside by Shimmy Rakakadash. I'm gonna give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. We want to teach for our child one to the full let Kwame Yasharala, Muwafaq Ball, Amahar, one Yahusha Shalom.